Hi guys, my name is Noni Matikela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about the courtroom situation. There was something that was very, very weird in that courtroom yesterday. Usibanda, guys, no man. No. Usibanda, no man. The tactics that he uses. No. Okay, before I even go to that, let's say something about his demeanor and how he was yesterday in court. So the other day, well, the first time he did his cross-examination from 10 past 2 to 10 past 3, he was exhausted. Do you remember? He came, I already spoke about that, guns blazing, high spirits, condescending, confidence, everything Jay was on high, his voice, high pitch, everything was up here. And disrespect also was on another level. Everything, Jay, he was something else, ne? And he went on and on and on. He got tired. He got tired because he was busy screaming at a witness who is very calm. Now, what I noticed yesterday is that perhaps Ubaloy spoke to him and told him that, no, my guy, maybe Ubaloy or maybe his minions talked to him and told him, because Usibanda has people that clearly are supporting him from, just like the defense is being supported by people. So Nosibanda has people that are supporting him on the side. Maybe they told him, no, what you did wrong on their side is that they agreed with what we saw. He was shouting at the witness. He was very loud, unnecessarily so. It sounded as if he's like condescending. He's shouting, and I'm sure the witness did not even understand what he did to deserve that. But more than anything else, what I liked is that yesterday he toned down. He really toned down, and he was apologetic because I think ebengazivanga, which is fair, ukuthi abone ukuthi xa eboniswa if someone showed him or whatever happened or how it happened. But I think someone showed him, no, man, you were too much. So he came back. He was very apologetic. You could hear his tone, even though he was doing things that we may not agree with yesterday. But his tone was way better, and he was very much apologetic. He felt some type of way. There is a heart after all in that. Someone told him about maybe the professional conduct and stuff. Something happened there. Now, moving forward to the situation that he was doing. So what happens, what I could see is that when the state stops asking questions and starts demanding agreement, that's what he was busy with yesterday. That's what he was busy with. What happens when a prosecutor stops asking what a witness knows and starts demanding that the witness agree with a theory? That is the core business of yesterday when it comes to Usibanda. What you are about to hear is not confusion. It's not poor phrasing from me. It is a moment whereby where the rules of evidence are quietly bent. I don't know if I'm making sense. And the witness refuses to play along because I'm not sure why Usibanda was doing what. Okay, maybe he was doing it too because the other day, the day of too much confidence, disrespect, too much of everything, he said to the judge, I will force the witness. As long as I'm not forcing the witness physically, I will force the witness. So he admitted to the things that happened behind the scenes. He did. I don't even think that he understood what he said, but he said he will force the witness. So he was still forcing the witness even yesterday. He was forcing the witness into admitting theories that he is making. He was forcing the witness. So this exchange matters because it exposes how a case is being built, not with proof, but with pressure. So somewhere in his head, I believe that he was thinking, I'm going to put him under pressure and I'm going to make sure he cracks. And it was not happening. It was not forthcoming because Uma Kosonke is a very chilled guy. So the state introduces a man named Lungsani, which is already on evidence, but to Makosonke not, but not clearly, not cleanly also. Different, he was using different tactics, different names, different family links, different alleged phone numbers. There was a lot that was going on at once. And the state's goal is simple, to present Lungsani as a common contact, linking I choose 1, 2, 3, and 4 to all those people. So that is where he was going with what he was saying. I suppose he was not putting it right, because if that link holds, the case tightens according to him. That's why he was forcing it. And if it doesn't, the structure collapses, right? The prosecutor starts carefully. Does I choose number 1 know Lungisani? It was that kind of a vibe situation. Did he save he spoke about how it was safe in people in I choose numbers? Did I choose number 3 communicate with him? Those are the things that he was showing. Did those communications run from 2014 to 2024? I choose number 3. So he was trying to show, I choose 3, 4, I choose 1, 2, 3, 4. They have a linkage with this man, Lungsani. The witness answers the same way every time. I have no knowledge of that. He was not evasive, man. There was no evasiveness from his side, and no contradiction, just a clear boundary. I have no knowledge of that. Remember, witness does not know. Witness doesn't know Lungsani, but Lungsani made a call while Gwabini was arrested to tell this one, who is a cousin of Gwabini, that, listen, your cousin has been arrested and we need money for pay. Do you understand? That was Lungsani. Lungsani is closer to Gwabini because it seems as if Lungsani and Gwabini, they are cousins because their mothers are from the Ntuli clan. They are from the Ntuli clan, and that is why he was he has a relationship with him. Now a shift came when the prosecutor, then the tone changes, because Umfana says, I don't know that situation. The prosecutor now stops asking what the witness knows and starts asking what the witness must accept. Do you then concede that Lungisani is a common contact between I choose 1, 2, 3, and 4? That word concede changes everything. This is no longer a testimony. This is now forced agreement. Now the witness pushes back. The witness responds with a sentence that should stop the courtroom cold. Please do not make me lie about things that I have no knowledge of. That is not disrespect. That is not attitude. That is a witness protecting the truth. He understands the trap because he's very smart. He is being asked to bridge an evidential gap for the state, and he refuses. He refuses. And then right there, Mshololo intervenes. He objects cleanly, correctly. The witness has repeatedly said he does not know. The state cannot now demand a consensus about communication. He was not cut off. That is basic law, right? A witness may testify to facts. A witness may not be asked to adopt conclusions. So that for me, Mshololo was very right when she came in there. Here is the critical point. Whether someone is common contact is not a fact, it's an inference. Inferences come from phone records, call data, objective evidence. They do not come from witness agreement. So he rephrased the question as, do you then realize? It doesn't fix the problem still. It guessed it. It guessed it. Now, only after all this pressure does the state mention a Section 205 record. But if the record proves the link, they must stand on their own, not bring Makosonke in that. He has nothing to do with that. He's told them, I don't even know 3, 4, and 5. You don't ask a witness to interpret them. You don't ask a witness to concede their meaning. You lead the evidence, then argue. You leave the evidence and then argue. Now here the order was reversed. Strong cases don't argue through witnesses. They don't need consensus. They don't need pressure. They don't need repetition of things. When a prosecutor asks a witness to concede a theory, it's because the evidence hasn't done its job, Kesan. That is the only reason. It hasn't done its job. And when a witness says, I will not lie about what I don't know, that moment becomes evidence itself. Because the courts are not places where narratives are agreed upon. They are a place where facts are proven. And on this issue, the state did not prove. They were forcing Makosonke to concede on their narrative, on their own theory, which was unfair. And I loved what Mshololo did there. And in another video, I'll touch on what happened after, because the accused were like, let's deal with this. Anyway, what are your thoughts when it comes to this? Let's talk in the comment section. I want to hear your views. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.